We can go same list as we have a coach. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Kyle, thanks for doing this. Just curious, your first impressions of the quarterback competition you're in with Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, Dwayne's a great player, man. It's been fun to go out there and play with him and compete with him and see what he's got and learn some things from him and just work together. He's been a great player. He's picked up the system quick. It's been fun to watch. So it's been good to go out there and compete. I always love training camp. I always love OTAs. Just a great chance to come out and compete and try and get each other better. So it's been great so far.
How often is he asking you questions or just kind of trying to pull from your knowledge of this offense?
Yeah, I mean, it's every now and then. I think it's a collaborative effort with me and Scott and all the other quarterbacks in the room. We're all just trying to speed this process up because we didn't have all that OTA time. So we're all just talking as much as we can, communicating when we're not on the field, watching all the plays, getting as much mental reps as possible, just so we're all on the same page. I think that's going to be really important this year. The teams that communicate the best, that are all on the same page, are probably going to have the most success. So that's what we're probably trying to do the most.
Thank you.
Hey, Kyle, John Conn, ESPN. What's it been like for you to watch Alex Smith go through what he has of Bosa?
It's incredible. It's awesome. It's inspiring to watch. I mean, I wasn't here the last, his first year and a half, 2 years almost of grinding and seeing him through all the stages. But to see him at the end of the stages and watch his documentary and see all that he went through and the gruesomeness of the injury, and then just see him back out there and have a smile on his face when he goes out there and takes some reps finally, and really to see him climb from basically ground zero all the way back up to where he's close to being where he wants to be. So it's incredible to watch. It's fun to watch him go out there every day and it's just pure. It's pure love of football. It's really pure.
How different are you, because this is your third year in the system, how different are you as a quarterback in the system, and is it pretty much the same thing you were running?
Yeah, it's similar. I think there's going to be a lot of differences. Scott's, it's his year as the OC now. It's the same system, but he's calling plays, so there will be some differences. But I'm comfortable. I like it. I'm working every day to really just honed in on all the reads and stuff. But it's 3 years in, so I'm comfortable. I'm able to communicate to a lot of players on the field. And that's what I feel like I've been trying to do the most, is just get everyone in the same page, everyone on the same line. So when we go out there on Sunday in a couple of weeks, we're all ready to go.
Thank you.
Hey Kyle, you've got a guy named Antonio Gibson who used to be a wide receiver himself. How much does that help you as a quarterback when you got a running back right there that kind of knows everything, how to do everything?
Yeah, Antonio's learning fast, and he's starting to play a lot faster, and he's starting to play a lot better. It's like the last 2 years we had McCaffrey back there, who is receiver running back extraordinaire, obviously another level, but it's nice. It's been really nice. We have a couple guys that can do that. A couple guys, really our whole room is really good out of the backfield and running the ball. So it's great to see. It's great to see his progress over the past couple weeks in a short period of time. He's picked up a lot of things really well.
So in a broad sense, what does that do for the offense when you've got the ability to spread out with guys like that?
Yeah, I think it's just the way the game's going. I think a lot of teams are trying to do that. They're trying to get a lot of backs who aren't just run downhill backs and pass protection. You want to get them out and spread the field out, and I think it gives defenses fits. I think it gives them another thing they need to worry about, and so I think you see a lot of teams around the league trying to do that with some of their guys, at least have one of the guys on their roster that can do that. So it's just the way the game's going, and it's an important facet to a lot of these teams, including ours.
Hey Kyle, what are those big differences between a Norv offense and a Scott offense so far?
I mean, there's not really crazy specifics. I think there's different things scheme-wise we're going to get to. I don't want to get into anything deep, but it's Scott's offense now. He's putting his stamp on it. It's evolving just like any offense should every year. It's evolving with the times. It's evolving with what happened last year, with the trends and the personnel that we have too. So I think Scott's always been really good on working around what personnel you have in the room, trying to get the best out of everybody.
And obviously you guys have a young receiver room, but how would you evaluate it as a whole so far that you've been able to work with?
It's good, man. I appreciate a receiver room who's really hardworking and wants to get better and goes out and competes every day. And you see that in a lot of these guys. We got a really young room, but for them to have the attitude of going after it every day and wanting to get better and working hard and fighting for the ball and contested catches, like you see that out of these guys. And as a quarterback, that makes you more comfortable going their way. And so I appreciate that out of them. they're getting better, just like everyone else is as we're going through this sped up training camp. Everyone's catching on quickly and getting better quickly.
Thank you.
Hey, Kyle, Ben Standig with The Athletic. You mentioned sort of this sped up training camp. It's 6 days in. How does, with this whole off season where you didn't have any work effectively prior to this, how do you compare where you kind of are now in camp versus where you had been at a comparable time a year ago?
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like we would be almost in preseason game 2. You know, we'd almost be 20, 30 practices deep. It's a lot different, and no OTAs as well. So it's a lot different. It's a faster learning curve. It's you can't make as many mistakes. We gotta get it right now. You know, and so there's a more sense of urgency around the building. I think there's a more sense of urgency in everyone out on the field, because we're 3 weeks away from a game. You know, 2 weeks away from game week, and so I think just the way you approach it, we had a lot of time where we were Zoom meeting and we had a lot of time to ourselves, so now it's time to go. We got to have that urgency.
And one obviously advantage you have is having been in this system already, so you're pretty fluent in that, but you're not as familiar with some of the players.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a challenge when you've been kind of running with the twos to not be out there as much with some of the other starters to get a feel for them at this point?
Yeah, I think that's the challenge is coming in here for everybody and getting a feel for everyone in the offense. You know, I think that's what we've been really trying to hone down in is you don't get that feel from OTAs, those 14 practices and all those phase 2 practices too, and it's just the offense. You just don't get that type of feel. And so for me, it's just been trying to really get the body language down to the receivers, of the backs, communication with the O-line. It's everything's sped up, everything's faster. You know, so that's been a big challenge for me, and it's been fun to get to know a new group of guys and figure them out.
Hey, Kyle. Just curious on when you felt like you mastered this offense, where it almost became second nature. Was it after year 1 and after that off season, or did it come maybe before that, or how would you describe the timeline there?
I wouldn't say I've mastered the offense. I think from a quarterback perspective, you got to be in here 10, like it's Peyton Manning, Phillip Rivers, like late in their career type guys who've really mastered their offense. I'm only in year 3, you know. There's a bunch of new looks the defense is throwing at us. There's a bunch of new things in our offense we're doing this year. You know, I think really mastering an offense is year to year. I think you come into it with the mindset that you're starting from scratch and you're figuring it out again. And so for me, yeah, there's more familiarity. There's more, I can get through things quicker than I did 2 years ago, you know, but from a mastering perspective, I wouldn't say that at all. I would say it's still working every day to just get it down to a T.
Thank you.
Hey, Kyle, I imagine you've seen a lot of Ron Rivera speeches in your time. Where did Saturday's post-practice speech kind of rank, or, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard was Ron going there for you?
It's tough, man. That was tough. You know, his speech when we were in Carolina and he got fired from there, and he gave us a speech. There was a lot of guys that were in the room with him for 8-9 years, and me only being there 2 years, but him meaning so much to my career and pouring a lot into me too. That speech was tough for me and a bunch of other guys in that room. And then on Saturday, hearing that news, it's just it hit hard. And I feel for the man, and he's one of the best men I've been around, and he's been through so much over the past couple months with everything, and he's handled it incredibly well. And I know he's going to handle this incredibly well, and I know that we're all thinking about him. We all have our prayers with his family in mind too. But, I mean, he always says it. He's got broad shoulders. He can handle it. And if there's anyone that can handle this, it's him. So I feel for him, but, you know, I got faith.
And then was it, I don't know if jarring's the right word, but then for him to come out after practice and kind of light into you guys after what he thought was not the best day, was that surprising to see a guy go from, you know, that emotional, that vulnerable, then right back into football mode?
No, that's him. That's him. He's top notch. He's world class, man. And we expected that out of him too, and we respect him for it, and we know he's going to give us his all no matter what, and we're going to give him our all too.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? All right, thanks everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.